Hey guys, welcome back to Earth to Us Yoga. I have a really good, gentle, slow flow planned for us again today. So we're just going to take it super chill, we're going to be relaxed, we're just going to slow down. These are a lot of the stretches and a lot of the poses that I use myself right before I go to bed at night. So this is something great to do after a long day at work, getting ready for bed, and just getting ready to chill out for the day. So if you want to, grab a couple pillows, if you have a yoga block or pillows or whatever you have close by to kind of use as props, just to help keep the stretches gentle. Yeah, this is just one of my favorite kind of breakdowns of some of these poses to get ready for bed at night and just to relax my body after a busy day. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to take those hands, palms down to the knees. We're going to close the eyes for just a moment. And we're just going to make a few audible breaths here. I know some people sometimes feel a little uncomfortable with those audible breaths, but they are so powerful. So just stick with me here and just embrace this moment in this time. So we're going to take that deep inhale through the nose. And then that sigh out of the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. Releasing all the tension, inhaling through the nose. Inhaling through the nose. Now we're going to take that chin down to the chest. Dropping that chin all the way down to the chest. We're going to square up those shoulders, but also rolling those shoulders down and away from the neck. Just lengthening the top of the head here, pressing that chin down, the top of the head lengthens forward, feeling that stretch along the back of the neck. That breath is in and out of the nose here. That breath is still deep, it is long. Lengthening that neck here, making sure our spine is straight and in alignment. So those shoulders are stacked over the hips. We have that string lifting us from the tailbone, mid-back, through the shoulders. And we're going to lift that head back up, keeping those shoulders rolled down and away. We're going to take that right hand over to the left side of our head here. We're going to draw that right ear down to that right shoulder. Any time during this practice, you can just close your eyes, tune in, take those deep breaths, take that moment for yourself. Releasing with that right hand. Now taking that left hand over to the right side of the head, bringing left ear to left shoulder here. Still allowing that breath to be deep. We're going to keep that breath slow and deep this whole practice here. Being very gentle with our body, very gentle with our movements. Releasing that left hand. Now we're going to take that chin, leading with that chin. We're going to lift that chin up towards the ceiling. And then down towards the chest. Saying yes here. We lift that chin up. And then lower it back down. We're saying yes to this practice, yes to this time of relaxation, yes to this time of rest. Just taking this moment for ourselves. And just saying yes. Bringing that head back center. Now we're going to say no. We're going to look over that right shoulder. And then that left shoulder. Being very gentle with the neck. We just switch from right to left. We say no. We say no to the world. We say no to the to-do list, the busyness. Just taking this time for ourselves here. Taking this moment for ourselves. Bringing that head upright, one big circle all the way around, whichever direction you choose. And then changing that direction all the way around. Bringing that head back up. Right now I'm going to spin around so you guys can see what's going on behind my back. We're going to take a few shoulder stretches. So we're going to take those hands down by our side. We're going to inhale as those hands go up. We're going to take those thumbs, pressing those thumbs out, then dropping those thumbs to the tops of the shoulders, to the base of the neck here. Then we're going to open through those elbows, lifting that head up. So we're pressing the back of the head into the hands here, opening up through the chest and the shoulder blades. Really getting that good stretch on the, and then releasing those hands all the way back down to the mat. Now we're going to take this right arm, lifting that right arm up. We're going to take that thumb, pressing it out once again, dropping it back to that shoulder. Then we're going to take that left hand, gently putting a little bit of pressure on that elbow, so stretching through that tricep here. Taking that stretch into the tricep. Then taking the palm of the hand, pressing it on the back, then just gently pulling it over to that left shoulder. That spine is straight. We're not collapsing forward here. We're keeping that back very straight. Then we release those arms down to the mat. We're just going to roll those shoulders up, dropping them back. One more time, up and back. Now taking that left hand, pressing that thumb out, dropping that thumb down to the shoulder, then taking that right hand to that left elbow, gently pressing it back, stretching through that tricep. That head is upright, that string from the tailbone out through the top of the head, keeping that spine in alignment. Finding that breath. Then we're going to drop the palm to the back and then gently pull over that, bringing that palm to that right shoulder here. Just a few more breaths as we hold this pose, stretching out those shoulders. Now releasing that hand down, now you can take those head rolls here, take those shoulder shrugs here, whatever serves your body, whatever feels good for you. Just loosening up those shoulders. Now moving those hands to the front of the body, we're going to take that right arm, bending at the elbow, putting that thumb directly in line with the forehead here. We're going to take that left elbow, placing it in the crease of that right elbow. Then we're going to take those palms, we're going to twist that right palm, bringing those palms together, and then gently lifting those elbows up. We're going to round through the back slightly here. So it's where we opened up through the chest earlier, now we're opening up through those shoulder blades. Just gently rounding that back here, that spine is straight, coming into those eagle arms as we just stretch through the shoulders. Really pulling those shoulder blades apart, stretching through the arms here, finding that breath, finding that good posture, and then releasing those arms, untying them, then dropping them back down to the side. We're going to inhale those shoulders up. Exhale those shoulders back. Now we're going to take that left hand, bringing it in front of the head. The thumb comes towards the forehead, bending at the elbow, right elbow into the crease of the left arm here. Then we're going to twist that left and right hand, bringing those palms together, lifting up at those elbows, finding that deep breath here, rounding through the back once again. We just find that breath. We find that stretch. Releasing that tension in the spine. Those deep inhales and exhales through the nose. We just feel that breath wash over us as it begins to bring peace to our mind and peace to our spirit during this practice. We release those hands and then drop those hands down to the knees. We find that head roll here, rolling all the way around in one direction. And then changing that direction. And we're just going to continue to work down the body here. So we're going to take that right hand down to the mat. That left arm sweeps up and over. Finding that good side bend here, opening up through those left ribs here. So pulling those left ribs away from that left hip. That hip stays on the mat. So we're not drawing that hip up, we're keeping it planted. And then taking that left hand down to the mat, that right arm sweeps up and over, once again not drawing up that hip, but really creating that good space between that lower rib and the right hip. We just start to find that little dance here as that right arm goes down, that left arm sweeps. And then as that left arm goes down, that right arm sweeps. We just find that dance here. So we rotate from side to side, opening through the ribs. And then bringing that hand back down. Now we're going to take left hand to right knee, right hand behind the spine. Now we're going to keep that spine very upright here. That hand goes behind us to guide us. We open up on that inhale, that gentle twist here. We're not forcing our body into that twist, but just a slow and gentle twist here, wringing out that spine. Feeling this in that abdominal wall. We bring right hand to left knee, left hand behind the tailbone, just changing that stretch. And then left hand to right knee, right hand behind the spine, once again, changing that twist. And then right hand to left knee, left hand behind the tailbone. So that posture is upright. That hand keeps us from tucking those hips under. That straight line from the tailbone all the way out the top of the head. Really engaging that core here. Releasing back forward. Now as we continue to work our way down, we're going to take that left leg. We're going to tuck that left leg underneath that hip. So just bringing that heel kind of in towards the glute here, finding that good posture. We're going to take that right leg, we're going to drape it over that left leg. We're coming into shoelace here. So we're pressing the sole of that right foot onto the mat here. Those knees are in as much alignment as we can get them there, actively squeezing through those inner thighs. Now we're going to take that left elbow to that right knee. That right hand goes behind the spine. We find that gentle twist once again. We find that breath here. If you want to take this twist a little bit deeper, you can go ahead and look over that right shoulder. But really engaging that abdominal wall here in that spine, releasing all the muscles in the back. Just finding that deep twist. And then on that next exhale, we're going to release that back forward, not uncrossing those legs just yet, because now we're going to take that right hand over to that right ankle. We're going to take that left hand behind the spine. We're going to take that deep inhale. And then just exhale as we open up now to that opposite side. And what this does is it's going to move it a little bit more into that upper back here. So we're not concentrating as much on twisting as we are just opening through that chest. Feeling this creep up into that upper back, just releasing that spine. We'll feel it along that bra line here. And then releasing back forward, not uncrossing those legs just yet, because we're going to take those hands, we're going to drape them over those knees as we roll forward. Now you're going to feel this start to come into that right hamstring, into that right outer seat here. So just crouching forward, finding that tiny little ball here. Taking just a few deep breaths here. We're going to focus deeply on the breath this whole practice as it draws us down to the mat. This meditation today is going to be on peace, just really embracing and finding that peace. That peace in our minds, that peace in our spirits. Now releasing that body back upright. We're going to untie those legs now. So we're going to bring that right leg, we're going to tuck it underneath that left glute, bringing that heel into the glute, and then taking that left leg, draping it over that right leg, pushing the sole of that foot into the mat, keeping those knees in as much alignment as possible. We're going to take that right elbow over to that left knee. That left hand goes behind the spine here. We're going to find that gentle twist. So just opening up to that left side, being very gentle with ourselves. This whole practice is about being very gentle with our body. We're just working our way down for that time of rest. This should feel so good. All of these poses should be a gentle stretch. We should never feel a strain. We're not holding any pressure or any tightness in the muscles here. If you start to build up that pressure, then just release the pose and just come back to that center. But we're being very gentle this whole practice. Just focusing on that peace, relaxing the body. Releasing that twist, we're going to take that left hand over to that left ankle, right hand behind the spine. We're just going to find that gentle twist as it works upwards towards that bra line. Even feeling this into those obliques and that abdominal wall. And then releasing that back forward. Now we're going to take those hands, we're going to wrap them around those knees, crunching down into that tiny little ball here, moving this stretch into those legs. So just take that breath a little bit deeper as we move forward. Really just stretching through that left outer seat into that left hamstring here. That breath is deep. And then releasing that stretch back up, we're going to untie those legs and we're going to go ahead and move in that opposite direction. So we're going to bring those feet into butterfly here. So bringing those feet into butterfly, I just lifted up my hips here to get a little more grounded through those seat bones. But drawing those heels in, reaching down for those toes, being very gentle here. If those legs are a little tired, you can take those pillows underneath those knees. If you need to, because I want this whole practice, like I said before, to be very gentle, to be very easy on the body. So if those legs are a little tired, then take those pillows, resting them under the knees. Reaching down for those toes here, we lead with that navel. So we're not rounding that back, we're not arching that back. We're just being very careful as we draw that navel down with that flat spine. So those shoulders are not leaned forward, they are not stretched back. We're just being very careful here to lead with that belly button. Opening through the hips and the hip flexors here. Taking a few deep breaths. Maybe we even close those eyes while we hold these poses. Finding that deep breath in and out of the nose. This is your time to just slow it down, to tune in. We take that deep breath. And then we release this butterfly. We're going to bring those legs back into that easy pose. We're going to take these pillows, we're going to set them off to the side. We're going to come onto our hands and our knees here. So coming onto those hands and those knees, we're going to stack those knees under the hips. We're going to stack the hands under the shoulders. Really bringing those hands under the shoulders, opening those fingertips wide, pressing through all four corners of the palm. We inhale as that tailbone shoots up, that navel drops down, we come into cow. And then exhale as we curl those hips under, drawing the navel to the spine, dropping the head into cat. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat, really rolling that spine. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. One more inhale into that cow pose. One more exhale into cat. Now come into that neutral spine. We're going to open up those knees just a little bit wider than the hips here. We're going to take those hands, we're going to walk them out long. We're going to drop that chest down to the mat. So coming into that puppy pose, those hands go long, that tailbone shoots up towards the sky. We drop the chest down to the mat. Stretching through that chest here, releasing the head, not holding any tension in the neck. Pressing that tailbone high and away here, drawing those biceps into the ears. Just taking that deep breath, lengthening the shoulders. Really stretching and opening up the shoulders and the top of the chest. Now we're going to take that left hand. We're going to go palm up as we drop down, elbow, shoulder, then the back of the hand. We're just going to find that little twist here as we thread that needle through. So being very gentle with ourselves here. We just thread that needle through. Releasing that left hand back. We take that right hand palm up, we drop elbow, shoulders in the back of the hand. That left hand is walked out long. Just threading that needle through. Releasing that right hand. We're going to go ahead and roll up onto those hands and those knees. We're going to take those knees, we're going to open them wide, we're going to set that seat back onto those heels here. And we're going to find that child's pose. So you can stack those fists if those arms are a little tired, resting the hands on the fists. You can walk those hands out long, dropping that head down to the mat as those biceps press into the ears. Whatever feels good here for you, whatever helps you push down into that mat, finding a few breaths here in this child's pose. Just taking that deep inhale, that deep exhale here. We start to work back into that easy pose. Just breathing in this child's pose here for just a few deep breaths. Now we're going to take that next deep inhale through the nose. We're going to roll up onto those hands and those knees. We're going to bring those knees back under the hips, the hands back under the shoulders. The last pose here that we're going to do in this, on our hands and our knees with this neutral spine, once again, we're going to take that right foot up to that right pinky finger. Now we're going to take this, take our hands, rolling them forward into that deep runner's lunge. Now we want to make sure that this right knee does not track over this right toe. We want to stack that right knee directly over that right ankle. So that big toe should be roughly about the top of that right pinky finger. We're just leaving that left leg behind as we come into this low runner's lunge. We're just going to take a few deep breaths here. Breathing in and out of the nose. Really just stretching into those inner thighs, stretching into those hip flexors. That breath is deep. Now we take that deep inhale, and on the exhale we're going to press away with the hands, and we're just going to walk those hands back till we come up onto that right heel. So pressing back onto that right heel, taking that stretch into that hamstring, into the back of that knee. So just being very gentle as we press back, stretching into that leg, and then on that next inhale we walk those hands back forward, back into that lunge. Stretching back into that lunge. And then walking those hands back upright, we're just going to release that right leg back to meet that left knee. Now we're going to take that left foot up to that left pinky finger. We're going to walk those hands out low, coming long into that runner's lunge. Once again, making sure that that left foot does not, or that left knee does not track over that left toe, being very gentle with that knee here. Just opening up through the hips, feeling this in the hip flexors and the groin muscles. Just opening through that legs, feeling this in that top right thigh. Breathing in this lunge. Taking those deep breaths in and out of the nose. We take that deep inhale. And then exhale as we walk those hands back. We walk those hands all the way back till we come up onto that heel. So pressing into that heel. If that's a little too deep for you, you can always rise up and just very gently lean forward, or just dropping one hand down. You can even reach for those pillows, stacking those pillows up, taking those hands to the pillows here. Whatever feels good for you. We want this practice to be very gentle for your body. And then we take that inhale, we walk those hands back forward, we come back into that lunge. Take that deep breath. Walking those hands up, we release that left leg back to meet that right leg. We're going to find that final child's pose here as we walk those knees open wide. We set that seat back on those heels. We walk those hands out long, dropping that chest, dropping that forehead to the mat. Really just releasing those legs here. We find that child's pose. We find that deep breath. Just a few more breaths here, drawing those biceps into the ears, walking those fingertips out long. And then rolling up up onto those hands and knees, and then back into that easy pose. Coming back into that easy pose, crossing those legs here. Just a few more quick things before we move down into that rest time, down into that Shavasana time. So we're going to take those hands to the knees. We're going to lead with that core once again here. We're going to draw that navel in as we roll back, and then press it out as we roll forward. Drawing it in as we roll back, pressing it out as we roll forward. We draw it in as we roll back. We massage that spine, that abdominal wall. We press it out as we roll forward. We find that good stopping point, and then we just change that direction. Pressing it out as we roll forward, drawing it in as we roll back. Massaging the organs in the belly, massaging that spine, massaging the vertebrae, the discs in the back. Just finding that gentle movement. One more time. And then coming back to that upright position. Now we're going to go ahead and melt onto our backs now. So coming down onto our backs, I want you to grab those pillows. I want you to have them close by just so you can reach for them in just a moment when we get into our Shavasana time. But we're going to lower it all the way down to the mat here. We're going to draw those knees into the chest. First thing we always do, we draw those knees tightly into the chest. We curl into that tiny little ball. Just loosening up that back here, drawing that navel tightly in, lifting that tailbone and lower back up off the mat. Then we're going to take that right hand to right knee, that left hand to left knee. We're going to start making those tiny little circles. Those legs are zipped together, ankles all the way to inner thighs. We're massaging that lower back on the mat, massaging the tops of the glutes here on the mat. We're just making those tiny little circles. Whichever direction you choose to begin, there's no wrong or right way. And then we find that stillness. We change that direction, so just moving in the opposite way now. Just rolling those legs, massaging that spine, finding that deep breath, finding that rest, that much needed rest. Where there is rest, there is restoration. So we're just refreshing ourselves here. And one more time, we hug those knees tightly into chest. We reach right hand to right foot, left hand to left foot. We press those heels up and towards the ceiling. We open through those legs. We find that happy baby here. Drawing those knees open and away, bringing them down to the mat. We find that sway. You can find that rocker, that sway here. You can find that stillness, whatever serves your body, whatever feels good for you. Finding that movement or that stillness. Just deepening that breath. Deepening this time here. Drawing closer and closer down to the mat. A few more moments here in this happy baby. Now drawing those knees back into the chest, releasing those feet. One more quick tug on those knees, rounding through that spine. And we're going to take those hands over to that left knee. We're going to take that right foot, flexing that ankle, pressing that heel up towards the ceiling. If you need to take that right hand behind that leg, feel free to do so. We're just going to take a few deep breaths here. That right leg extends up. Drawing that right knee in, flexing that left foot, extending that left foot up, taking that hand behind. So now we're going to release the soles of the feet down on the mat here. The spinal stretch, we're going to cross that right ankle atop that left leg. So bringing that, almost like we're coming into that reclining pigeon here, but we're just going to take that right toe. We're going to drop it over to that left side, twisting from that navel down here. Keeping those shoulders squared on the mat. We're just going to release that lower back, releasing that hip, and releasing that glute muscle. Maybe we already start to close the eyes, taking the gaze inward. We're just releasing that lower back here. This final pose, coming into this twisted pigeon. Lifting those legs back up, we're going to uncross that right leg, taking that left ankle across that right thigh, dropping that left toe over to that right side, twisting through that lower back, twisting through that outer seat. Just finding that breath. Breathing deep in and out of the nose. We notice that breath get deeper and deeper. Releasing any tension or tightness in the body. Now we're going to lift those legs back up. Uncrossing that leg. Now I want you to reach for those pillows here. We're going to do a little bit of a different pose for our Shavasana time here. We're not going to extend those legs long. I want you to take those pillows, placing them under the knees here. So we're just going to take those pillows, placing them under the hamstrings, under the backs of the knees, keeping those legs bent. And we're just going to take those hands, resting them on the abdomen here. So this is going to be our final pose here, resting those legs on the pillows, hands on the abdomen at the navel. And we're just going to close those eyes. We're going to go ahead and we're going to close those eyes. We're going to turn that gaze inward for this time of rest. We're going to, this whole meditation time here, we're going to really focus on that breath. So I want you to bring all of your attention to that breath. Those hands are placed on the abdomen. I want you to feel that abdomen rise and fall with every breath you take. Noticing that breath getting deeper and deeper. And also noticing that you press into the mat deeper and deeper with each exhale. With every exhale you take, your body just melts closer and closer into that mat. As we move into this meditation on peace, we're just going to embrace the peacefulness of that breath. We notice that inhale, we notice that exhale. We start to notice the rhythm of the breath, the rising and the fall of the chest and the abdomen. We hear that air as it enters the nose. And then we hear that air as we exhale, as it leaves the body. We just notice that breath. If our minds ever begin to wander during this meditation, we always can bring that awareness back to the breath, focusing on the inhale and the exhale, the rise and the fall. We embrace that rhythm. We tune deeper and deeper into that rhythm. That inhale and that exhale. Breathing in and out of the nose. We start to notice a breeze as it washes over us. That breeze starting at the tips of our toes, washing all the way over our body out through the top of our head. With every inhale, that breeze enters, and with every exhale, that breeze leaves. As we inhale, that breeze draws in. And then as we exhale, that breeze leaves. We just take a moment to embrace that breeze as it washes over us. With every inhale, with every exhale, that breeze washes over our body. From the tips of our toes and all the way through the tops of our head, we begin to feel that breeze. We embrace that breeze. that breeze as it washes over us. And we notice what comes with that breeze. We start to notice that peace. We are intentional with that peace. To be intentional with something means to be purposeful with it. That peace has purpose here. We invite in that peace, that calming spirit. We invite in that peace and that restoration. We allow it to wash over us. We invite in that peace, and that peace becomes our power. We embrace the power that comes along with that peace. We never lose sight of that breath, and we never lose sight of that breeze as it continues to wash over us. We continue to embrace that peace. We continue to notice that deep breath. That breeze as it washes over us. We feel heavy and we feel pressed into the mat. But yet we feel so light. Our bodies feel as if they could float away, as though that breeze could carry us away. And we find that restoration here. We find that much needed rest. And we embrace it. We allow ourselves to have this moment. We allow ourselves to embrace this rest, embrace this peace, and embrace this breeze as it washes over us. That breeze is so cleansing. It's amazing what a few simple breaths can do, what it can do for our spirit. We focus on that breath. Taking just a few more inhales and exhales here as we embrace this moment, holding space for ourselves, embracing this peace. We feel heavy and we feel pressed in, but we feel so light. We have shed the burdens. We've shed the negativity, we've shed the worry, we've shed the anxiousness, the depression, the fear, whatever it is, we release it, we let it go. It is carried away with the wind. And that peace has been invited in. We embrace that peace for the remainder of the night, the day, the week, the month, the year. We hold that peace. We hold this moment. Always embracing that breath. Always embracing that breeze as it washes over us. That moment where we feel at peace, where we feel at ease. On that breath, and we focus on that breeze. We carry it with us. We take that deep inhale through the nose, breathing in all the air, breathing in all the air deep into the lungs. And then on that exhale, we begin to wiggle those fingers, we begin to wiggle those toes. And we take our time very slowly, very controlled. We roll up back into that seated position. We remove those pillows, placing them off to the side. And we come into that seated position here. Taking the hands to the knees. We're going to say yes. We're going to drop that chin to the chest, then lifting it back up. We say yes to that peace. Yes to this time. Yes to this space and this atmosphere. Embracing every moment. We bring that head back up, right? We inhale as those hands lift. Bringing those hands into prayer, then pressing those thumbs deep into the chest. We drop that chin down. We close the eyes. We take that deep inhale. And we let out that sigh. We take that inhale. Ladies, I thank you for joining me today. I pray that you find that peace. I pray that you hold on to that peace, that you have found that rest and that restoration. That you feel renewed and ready to go, ready for anything that comes your way, and you know that you can visit that breath and visit that breeze anytime you desire. Walk in that peace today. Claim it as your own. Bring it into your reality and speak it into existence. Operate from that place